Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else. I just wanted to take this time to answer a question that somebody had asked me the other day when I was in the gym. They had asked me, hey, Jeremy, would you do another bodybuilding show? And it's someone who was at the gym where I go, and they asked me a very sincere question. Just want to know, would I compete again? And, I never really thought a whole lot about it. For those of you who don't know, I did a men's physique competition back on June 23rd. It was called the West Coast Classic Men's Physique. I entered the age 45 and up men's physique division. It was called the Masters division. Entering a show is one of those things that I knew I would do eventually, but I didn't realize so many years would go by until I got around to doing it. So here I was over 45 and decided to enter this competition. One of the main reasons I decided to enter the competition was I had a little bit of poundage that I wanted to get off of my body. I wanted to get a little bit leaner, and just like most gym rats, I knew that I would continue to say, well, I'm going to add some more cardio to my routine eventually. And you know how it is. You get done with the lifting, and once the lifting's over, most of us gym rats, we tend to want to just leave the gym after the lifting's done, or just do very little cardio. And the same with the diet. You want to go out on the weekend, have a little bit of fun, and not follow the ultra strict diet that competing takes, because competing takes an ultra strict diet. You have to track your calories, you have to weigh out your food, you have to do a lot of planning, and I'll do a whole video on that whole process another time. But I did answer his question, and what I told him was that I would compete again. I wouldn't do the men's physique again for a lot of reasons. I would do the bodybuilding. I would do the bodybuilding again, and again, I love lifting weights. I lift heavy weight, and bodybuilding I think would be more suited for me in terms of just the style of workout I like to do, and I'm more of a classic guy. I like classic physique, and I've always been a big fan of bodybuilding since the Joe Weider days and Muscle Media 2000 or 3000, whichever one it was, of Bill Phillips, and Muscular Development Magazine. And props to all those guys who are still out there, Sean Ray, Dave Palumbo, and all those guys that are still out there doing their thing with all this. It's pretty amazing that bodybuilding is still out there. I personally would stick to that for a lot of reasons. Number one, I'd like to maybe not wear the board shorts and wear the posing trunks and really showcase my full body and my full potential. I personally felt like the men's physique, for me, it was a little bit more of a contest based on how you looked in terms of not just aesthetics, but just overall. And I feel with bodybuilding, it's a little bit based more on the musculature of the human body in terms of symmetry and traps, shoulders, chest, arms, and how big and small they are in relation to other body parts, and if you can achieve symmetry while building all that muscle. Whereas men's physique, I felt like it was a little bit more based on, again, just the overall look and not necessarily how big you are. And I'm not saying that's a negative thing. It was a great thing. I got in great shape, had my first chiseled six-pack in a long time. So nothing against men's physique, because I don't want to get into that whole debate over men's physique compared to bodybuilding and all that, because props to all the men's physique guys. The work that everybody does to get on stage, I would have to say it's probably equally as hard in its own way. So the bikini girls have to work really hard. The figure competitors have to work really hard. The men's physique guys have to work hard. The bodybuilders have to work hard. Nobody's going to get there eating a bunch of Twinkies. So, but for me, the bodybuilding, I would like to be able to throw the weights around a little bit more and build a little bit more size and maintain size. And I just think that I like being a bigger person. Although again, a lot of the men's physique guys, some of those guys are pretty big. When you go on the national level, a lot of these men's physique guys are pretty yoked up. So, not saying the men's physique guys aren't big, because a lot of them are. But for me, I would go ahead and try classic, and I would love to try the posing. I would love to get up there and get that 60 seconds of posing in. Whereas the men's physique, it's just the front pose, and then you turn around, you do the back, and then you line up, and they're judging you almost like a beauty pageant in a way. Whereas with the bodybuilding, you get to do your poses and kind of showcase your personality a little bit more. So again, absolutely, we'll definitely do another show. I'll do another video, and I'll talk about the process of competing in terms of the diet, how long it took me to get myself into peak condition. I'll talk a little bit about the mental aspect of it and the aspect of the lifestyle. You know, I don't think the lifestyle would be for me long term, because there's a lot of things that you have to sacrifice that, quite frankly, I don't really think I want to sacrifice long term. Short term, I would. Long term, no. I wouldn't stay on a pre-contest diet or a very strict diet year round, because you know, I like to go out and have dinner and do things that aren't always necessarily conducive to a strict diet. So thanks for watching. I'll definitely compete again. I just wanted to answer that question. I would definitely do it again, but not in the men's physique category. I would go ahead and jump into the bodybuilding and see how that goes. So next year, more than likely, it would be a classic physique bodybuilding masters division again, over 45, unfortunately. Well, actually not unfortunately. Feel very good for being over 45, and I feel like as though I've reaped a lot of the rewards that come with that. So again, thanks for watching the whole video, if you stayed through the whole thing. And I will definitely do a follow-up video to everything I did to get prepared, including the meal preps, the daily grind, and what it was like to get ready for a competition. Because I don't want to keep harping on the age thing, but it's a little bit harder when you're not 20, you know, and being over 40. The body just doesn't react the same. Metabolism, it's just generally a little bit slower than a 20-year-old's would be. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration, but overall, it was a fun ride. Again, I've made some real good progress, met some good people, and went through the process, which is the most important part. It did it for me. Would have liked to have placed in the show, but again, there are people who've been doing it a lot longer, been doing shows year after year. Most of the guys I competed with, they told me that this was like, some of them, it was like their 6th, 7th, 8th show. They've been competing since they're in their 30s, so they had it dialed in. For me, this was just a impulse buy. I said, let me just jump up here and just do this, because I've been lifting for a while, so let me try this out. But again, as usual, shoot me any questions you may have. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Have a nice day.